Sir Tailor, how do parents go about choosing the right school for their child?
That's a good question, because the key phrase is the right school for their child. Now, the right school for one child won't necessarily be the right school for another child, because different schools will suit different children. But some of the criteria that parents should consider are the following. First of all, they should visit any school that they're interested in so that they can get a, if you like, first-hand view of it. And they should also take their child to the school so that the child also gets an impression of what it feels like to be in that school. That's very important, because the impression you'll get of a school when you visit it is going to be quite different from the impression you could get from the website or from other people's reports and so on. So the first-hand experience of it is important. And clearly schools do put on a bit of a show when they have an open evening or an open day, but still you get a feel of what it's like being in those buildings, what the atmosphere in the school is like, how the staff and the pupils conduct themselves and so on. So that's one factor. Another factor is to look at a recent Ofsted report, if you can get access to one, because that gives you, if you like, a third-party view, an impartial view, hopefully an objective one. That can shed some light on the school and cut through some of the PR that the school will put on. Another factor is the logistics. Now, this is very important because the child will go to that school for 5 years most likely, and possibly 7 years if they stay for A-levels. So the logistics are going to be very important, because if a pupil is going to spend an hour getting to school and an hour getting home, that's taking a big chunk of time out, for which could have been used for other things. So that is something very important to consider.
And also, I guess, things like after-school clubs and school trips and things like that. You've also got that logistics of getting the child to and from school at times that maybe the school bus isn't necessarily running.
Well, that's a good point, because the school experience can be much broader than the normal school hours. And if it is inconvenient getting your child to and from school, then it may also restrict what activities they can and can't take part in. So that's a very good point to consider. Another couple of important things to consider are, what do parents and pupils of that school say? I.e., children who are currently in that school or have been through that school, what do they say and what do their parents say? Because that can give you a perspective that you can't get from anywhere else, because they'll have an inside view. And then last and possibly least, but I think it's really up to parents to decide on which criteria are the most important, but you might want to look at the league tables. And if you do look at the league tables, then I would suggest you look at the A-level league tables and take more notice of that than the GCSE league tables, because all the grammar schools do very well in GCSEs and there's not that much to distinguish them from one another, but there is more of a difference between them in their A-level achievements, and you might find that they might have quite a difference in the range of A-levels that they offer. And if your child has some inkling about the type of career they want, that might influence your choice of school as well. So in summary, I would say there are 5 factors to consider, and parents should decide their own order of priority, and they should not be looking to somebody else, such as a tutor or another parent, to make the choice about schools for them, because parents should decide according to their own priorities. But the factors that I have mentioned are a visit to the school and the impression you and your child get on the visit, looking at recent Ofsted reports, the logistics of getting to and from school, the feedback from children who have been to the school or go to the school and their parents, and league tables.
And if you'd like to find out more about the courses available, or just have some questions about the 11 Plus, then give Sir Tailor or one of his colleagues a call on the number provided through the Contact Us button.